Hello, we're here. The Hawks lose 4-0 to the Detroit Red Wings. We've got an update on Connor Bedard. We're going to break down the game. Nick Lardis makes his NHL debut and a memorable night in terms of nostalgia at the United Center. Lots to discuss next on CHGO Blackhawks. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Thanks for being with us. Hawks lose 4-0 to the Detroit Red Wings at the United Center. We are back at full strength tonight. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Greg Boysen. That's Mario Tirabassi. Chloe's here running the show. We are fresh off our takeover at the United Center and
First of three.
Let's hope the next two go better than tonight because everything that happened between the opening puck drop and final horn was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. It was the first shift they get scored on, another parting of the Red Sea type defense from the Blackhawks, and for the umpteenth time this season, this team was not ready to go out of the gate. And it's at some point I'm tired of hearing it, and I got to see a change.
Yeah, I'm also feeling similar, that the conversations of being ready to go, it's an everyday league, A games or B games. Let's figure it out. They're all professionals. I know it's third youngest team in the league, and there's a lot of growing pains. There's a lot of lessons learning and stuff. Let's learn them. Let's accelerate the learning process, please. I think that I don't know. Is it Nick Foligno missing? Is he that big of a piece to the puzzle that not having him and everything falls to shambles? I know Bedard wasn't there tonight, but I don't know. I think this team has to be able to find its secondary identity beyond Connor Bedard doing the majority of everything.
They're going to have to. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, how, hey, Connor Bedard can't do it all.
Right.
Now somebody has to step up, and it's not going to be one guy. One guy is not going to replicate what Connor Bedard was doing for however long he's going to be out. Right. It's got to be multiple guys. It's got to be everybody stepping up. I didn't hate the Blackhawks game tonight. It wasn't great. It was better than last night. Sure, the start sucked where Frank Nazar and Andre Burakovsky both stand there and go, yes, Alex DeBrincat.
Yes, by all means.
With your 16 goals on the season, have a free path direct to our net and score a goal. Didn't like that, but overall, they played better than they did in St. Louis, but it was another night where they were facing a goalie who has been underachieving all season long and let him off the hook.
Yeah.
There were no second or third chances tonight for the second straight game. There was nobody going to the net to cause havoc, to take away the goalie's eyes. It was a lot of perimeter play. It was a lot of one-and-done offensive possessions. You can't have that. You can't have that with Connor Bedard on your offense. Now that he's gone, you have to get in between the dots, get dirty, and score goals that way, because that's the only way this team's going to score them now.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're like, score aside, like, it was fine, right? The Hawks had the possession advantage. A lot of that is score effects, of course, but like, even in the first period, they were 64% Corsi. Like, all the things. Scoring chances for it was 19-16 for the Hawks. But there's no intensity. Everything is just stuck in mud. Nobody finishes a check. D. Paris said it in the chat. I've never seen a fast team look so slow. And it's just everything takes forever to get going. Passes are not crisp. There's always one or two extra passes. Late in the game, it's 4-0. And Ilya Mikheyev has a shot at the net, and he tries to pass it behind him. Like, what are we doing? Like, where is the gameplay in the context of the game?
Urgency is
And
an issue.
you have the start of the game. Again, the numbers bear out an even game of a game that the Hawks had some goal scorers on the team, possibly could have won. But you're down 2-0 before you can even before the first TV timeout, and it's already ball game because Detroit's on the road and they're just gonna sit back. They're not gonna give you any chances now. The first goal. I didn't like either of those goals. The DeBrincat one, fine. He walks in untouched. I'm not going to blame Soderblom for that. The Patrick Kane goal, Kane was like, well, I'm here. I might as well throw a backhander on. And he just whoa, completely whiffed on it. It was not a challenging shot at all. You need Soderblom to make a big save. He improved as the game went on, stopped Dylan Larkin on a breakaway. So fine, you call it even. But you're down 2-0, 4.5 minutes into the game. It's cooked.
Again.
It's over. The game is over.
How many times
Everyone in that building knew the game was over.
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
Even with Connor Bedard, you're probably not winning that game. Without him, 2-0 miles will be 200-0.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, and I think the offensive chances tonight, shots were fairly even, 26-24 shots on goal favored the Blackhawks when it's all said and done. 12-4 in the third period. It's because you're chasing the game. You're down 3-0 at that point. Detroit's, like you said, they're just sitting back. What's staggering to me is that you have 64-47 at all strengths, Corsi advantage, yet your shots on goal are 67 attempts to get the puck towards net and only 27 hit the net. 44 of them get through. So you've got 18 shots not even hitting the net, getting through, and you've got a combined 41 attempts at the net, not getting anywhere near it. And it felt like there were just constantly so many times where they have a good scoring, like a shot attempt, a lane at the net, and I'm hearing the puck hit the board, or I'm hearing the puck hit the glass, and it's just frustrating. It's just like these shot attempts and these scoring chances that they get aren't getting on net. And it just makes it feel like even more of a slog because you're looking for those second and third chances. You're looking for potential screens and deflections, but they're only good if they get to the destination where they're going. And I know, a lot of these guys, they're trying to pick corners and they have the ability to do it and stuff. But sometimes, especially when you're down 2-0 as quickly as you were, it's just getting it on the net. Like, even if it's right in the middle of the 4x6,
it's fine. It's putting pressure on the goalie.
Get a screen, get a deflection, get a rebound, get something on net with some traffic where even if the puck hits somebody, maybe it falls right down in front of the goalie with some traffic. They can't find it, and you jam it to one side or the other. Who knows?
Every shot on Soderblom seems to fall right in front of him.
Yeah.
He stabs it, glove saves, and knocks him down in front of him. Those opportunities are there when you put them on net. By the way, 21 block shots for the Red Wings, 7 for the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not playing an intense brand of hockey. They're just not. They're not a team, like D. Paris said, they're fast on paper. They don't play fast. And it's so juxtaposed on Madhouse night where you've got Roenick and Chelios and Gary Suter and Steve Smith, and all these guys are in the building. They're on the video board. You see the Jeremy Roenick highlight package. You see the Tony Amani highlight package of guys flying around, throwing their bodies, finishing checks, and then a team good, cool TV timeout. Let's go back on the ice and I'm going to make a drop pass to nobody. Let me just stick checking in this corner. Look, I know it's a young team. I know they're learning how to win. I know they're learning how to, play the NHL game, 82 games, all that stuff. But intensity is not something you need to learn. You either have it or you don't. And I am seeing a concerning lack of intensity from this team lately, top to bottom. And guess what? It's not just the young kids. It's not. It's not just that Oliver Moore, if anything, it's Oliver Moore is the one guy who is playing with consistent intensity since Bedard went down.
He had a lot of jump to start this game. and it's, it starts to fall off as the game goes on, and as you're starting to chase the game more, it's harder to kind of keep that up in the same way. But yeah, Oliver Moore seems to be one of those guys that, like, every night, the skill set that made him a first-round pick and makes him one of these guys that you look at and say that's an identity type of player, he brings it consistently every night. But he's not going to be the guy right now that carries a team when the rest of the team doesn't have their A game. Oliver Moore's not a guy that's going to be the one to drag you out of a 2-0 hole 4 minutes into the game. So it's got to a lot of these guys need to be able to be more reliable night to night. And it's like you said, Jay, it's not just the young guys. Like,
No.
You want Dickinson and Tavo and Donato and so on and so forth to be able to, like, they're the veterans. They've been around. Tavo's won a Stanley Cup. Like,
last night he got called out on the ESPN broadcast for bailing on a play, for bailing on a hit.
yeah, like, you got those guys got to be the ones to set the tempo with the urgency and be the ones that, if Nick Foligno's not there to rally the troops on the bench, Jason Dickinson's supposed to be a guy that can do that. Donato Murphy should be a guy that is able to do that. It's starting to get frustrating that we're at this point where I know we really only care about the young guys for the future ahead, but the here and now is still important, and those veterans still need to serve their purpose.
Well, your case in point about the shot attempts and the veterans, Ryan Donato and Tyler Bertuzzi are two guys who have had 30-goal seasons in the NHL as recently as last year for Donato. These are two guys that really need to pick up their game while Bedard is out. They had 0 shots on goal between the two of them tonight.
That's not good.
9 attempts, but 0 on net. You cannot have that. That is just a pitiful number. Those are two guys that need to step it up. And 0 shots on goal in a 60-minute hockey game from those two guys, you can't have that. That has to be better.
Tavo had 1 and 2 shot attempts. With Connor Bedard out, those are the 3 guys primarily I want to start saying offense is on me. Ryan Donato just got paid for a 31-goal season. Do something. Bertuzzi, look.
I don't know how he missed that net earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know how
And
that
he
didn't go in.
He missed one late, too. But
still,
fine.
Put it in the net.
You need your veterans to pick you up when the kids are struggling with the adjustment to the schedule, or Frank Nazar is struggling with the scoring streak, the goalless streak, rather, where every time he gets a shot attempt and it doesn't go in, just piles another brick on his back that he is lugging around with him since October 28th. That's when you rely on your veterans. And I think top to bottom, the veterans were a massive letdown in this game. Did the young players have their ups and downs? Yes, they're going to. Oliver Moore, first opportunity the Hawks had in the offensive zone in the game, he wants to get Nick Lardis a goal. And he's got John Gibson dead to rights and decides to pass. That's a come here.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but we're not trying to get guys their first NHL goal. We're trying to get points.
Right.
Lesson learned. Boom. Oliver Moore probably won't do that again. But just the lack of engagement from the vets is, I don't know, man. Everybody knows. I love Tavo. I've always loved Tavo. And look, I know he's playing with a very injured jaw, so maybe we got to cut him some slack. At least he's out there trying. But just flat out bailing out on plays, like, I don't know. It's very aggravating. It's very aggravating. And I know there's some temptation to be like, well, let's move on from these veterans. Like, teams are starting to look to make deals. Okay, but then are you going to go, like, all Rockford? Like, you kind of have to have some veterans on the team.
I mean, you're not shipping guys off right now. The hope is if and when we get to that point, because it's now trending in that direction, I think the hope is that those young guys kind of learn their lessons that they're expected to as rookies or as, first full NHL season players, and they can pick up the slack of losing those vets in those situations. But right now, what we're seeing is some veterans that aren't, picking up that slack, and some young guys that are kind of falling into that, maybe hitting a wall portion of the season early on, where it's just like, oh, I've never played this many games condensed into this much time, and you got to kind of figure it out from there.
All right, we're going to hit the break zone for the first time. Do us a favor. While we hit the break zone, you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. We'll be back on 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks, presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. You may recognize their logo from the Blackhawks jerseys. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. The best in the business, from what I understand. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, in-game, whatever you're looking for, Circa Sports is sure to have it. You can fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. You got the big Cleveland versus Chicago football match tomorrow. It's going to be fun. How you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. It's a must-win game, so I think they're going to win it. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. You must be 21 or older, and if you or someone you love has a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER for support. And new vehicles are in store at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal at the year-end sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chryslers, Dodges, Jeepses, and Ramses. And right now, get $0 down and 0 payments until March on all new CDJR models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. And with Ray's price promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons or hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you pay. It's that simple. Go check out our partner today to shop one of Chicago's largest inventories, find the right vehicle for you, then drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one we recommend. Don't miss out on the year-end sales events for huge savings on new models. For more info, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. All right, we're back on CHGO Blackhawks. Not enough of you hit that like button. Look, I know the Hawks lost. I know we are at a delayed start, but we have 300 people watching and only 70 likes. It takes you 1/2 of a second to hit that like button. And every time you hit the like button, it reduces an hour from Connor Bedard's injury.
That's true.
That is science.
That's scientifically factual.
That is not science. By the way, update on that. Elliot Friedman had it during the game today that Connor Bedard will not make the trip to Canada. So that is at least 3 more games without Connor Bedard.
And Blashill confirmed that after the game. Elliot said that Bedard had an MRI today. Sounds like we might know tomorrow some updates. If not tomorrow, Monday. But seems like we're inching closer to some not fun news, and I think that's probably the thing most people were expecting. I think we were all kind of optimistic. Hey, maybe it might just be like 2 weeks or something, but I'm preparing myself, and you all can do whatever you would like to prepare for it, but I'm preparing for some extended time without Connor Bedard this season, which sucks a lot. But as we talked on the last postgame show, it opened up an opportunity for a guy like Nick Lardis to make his NHL debut tonight.
And if you're looking for a bright spot in this game, it was certainly Nick Lardis. Nick Lardis played 15-32. He was a -2, so take that. But 2 shots on goal, 8 shot attempts, 5 hits, and a block shot.
That 5 hits jumped off the page.
I was
surprising.
Yeah.
It's like, I was not aware of your game, young Mr. Lardis.
But what he was doing was just hockey. He wasn't like laying guys out or like going out of position to hit, but if he was at a board with a guy, he would finish a check on him. And again, finishing a check doesn't mean I'm going to Tom Wilson you into the concussion protocol.
It's forecheck.
It means I'm going to bump
puck.
you. I'm going to make the boards make a sound. Mm-hmm. That's a hit. That's what they need. And we said it last night too. The more you make those hits, it's going to make the opponent less willing to go in the corners or to battle you on the boards because they're going to get tired of getting hit. Anyway, Lardis was really good, really dynamic. He's got a little more speed than I counted on. Seeing him at the NHL level, he was certainly one of the faster players on the ice. I love that he's not afraid to shoot.
Hey, 71 goals, man.
Yeah.
Last year. That should give you some confidence.
You don't get that from 71 shots.
No.
You take a lot more than 71 shots to do that.
Unless Soderblom's in goal. Oh, come on.
cheap
That's a
shot.
cheap
Cheap
shot.
shot.
Come on.
Tip your waitress.
Who said that?
You need at least 74. No, Lardis and Moore definitely look like two guys that are comfortable playing with each other. I'm glad they were put on the line together. That to me, that was a no-brainer.
And Green, too.
Yeah, I mean, that line looked good early and then kind of faltered as the night went on. They got hemmed in their own zone a few times. They were on the ice for 2 goals against. But Nick Lardis looked really good on the power play. Like that's going to be a weapon. The bottom of the right circle, that looks to be where he's like, it's not the most ideal place to score from, but he looks like I'm going to score from here every time I get the puck.
He had opportunities from there.
He scored one in Rockford like that.
Yeah, I mean that's his spot. So I liked what I saw on the power play. I like the fact that he is not afraid to shoot, and he shouldn't be because that's why he's here. That's why he's dare I say, outside from hitting people, I don't want to call him a one-trick pony, but his best attribute is shooting. So do it.
Yeah, lean into it. Yeah.
I mean, very comparable to a guy that was on the other side of the ice that we know very well here that scored twice. Alex DeBrincat is a guy that his best attribute is his shot. So he's going to use it every chance he gets. I was impressed with his willingness to shoot. And, it's impressive that he never looked out of place or uncomfortable on the ice. He got on the ice and was like, it's hockey. It's what I've been doing my whole life. It's just a different uniform. I'm going to do what I do. So that was encouraging.
I think it's nice for a guy to come up with such short notice, does not have any sort of...
It's a Christmas Hawaiian shirt, by the way. I'm not supposed to wear it when it's 90 degrees out.
Yes, Daquan McWilliams, a totally real account, says
Obviously
Hawaii shirt in 10
obviously
degree
your
weather
first
is wild.
time here.
No, it's not. It's the first time they've used that account.
You can't really see that it's Christmas.
It's got Bob Ross and
It
Reeves
looks
on
Hawaiian from
Is
what
the
I'm looking
Hawaiian? That's not what you would call the style of the shirt. A Hawaiian shirt.
It's
A
a
Hawaiian
Roosevelt
shirt is where
Friends
it's got like
recognized.
flowers
Right.
and island print. That's Bob Ross.
It's Bob Ross and Christmas and snowflakes.
Happy little clouds.
His hair is a Christmas wreath.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Nicholas Lardis.
Nicholas Lardis. Yes, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is a guy coming in, making his debut. He probably knew yesterday he was coming up, but officially called up at what it was like 10:30 or whatever, and doesn't have any of the stink from last night or the LA game or the Anaheim game. He's like, I feel good. I scored a goal last night. Let's go.
Rockford
Like,
won, yeah,
what's wrong,
yeah.
everybody? Let's go out and play. And he looked really good. And look, you can't go and judge a guy by their NHL debut. There's a lot of players that they're just shot out of a cannon because the adrenaline is pumping. But look, there's nothing to me that when I see that, I go, ooh, he needs a lot more time. We'll see how it goes over the next however long Bedard's out. But I like what I saw in game one. Looked a lot more NHL ready than I expected.
You want a guy to feel the confidence to go out there and play that way. And I think given the time that he's spent in the AHL this season to start the year and the success that he's had, there's no reason he shouldn't feel some confidence. Funny coincidence pointed out by Scott Powers today. Lardis' call-up comes at the exact same time 1 year ago as Frank Nazar's.
That's crazy.
And
Give him $7 million.
Both guys played, had the same similar success in Rockford prior to coming up. And, I think if Lardis had come out tonight and played timid, was passing up opportunities to shoot, then I think you kind of come away with it and going like, oh man, that really wasn't the Nick Lardis that we'd seen. But this was the Nick Lardis that we've seen in Rockford, and a confident guy using his shot. I want to see that continue. I'm not expecting Nick Lardis to be the guy to step in and be like, Connor Bedard's gone, I'm going to do it. But if he wants to try, I'm not going to stop him.
No, wouldn't be mad at him, but you're right. That's lofty expectations to heap on a kid, but a really nice first impression. Never got pushed around, never looked timid out there, and that's very, very encouraging. We've seen kids in the past come out and, okay, that wasn't a great first game. Not that it, ruined their career, but getting that first one under your belt and having the confidence out there to do your thing, it was good, to see, and he can build off of that. So, he'll get a practice with the team on Monday, and then it's on the road to, play in
Toronto,
Canada.
3 tough buildings.
Toronto,
Montreal, and Ottawa.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, kid.
Yeah.
He'll get to go back and probably play in front of a ton of friends and family up there in Toronto, being an Ontario boy. So that'll be a big experience for him. And then, quickly the whole novelty and freshness of being an NHL player is going to get grinded out of you pretty quickly when you realize, we have another game today. It's a practice today. And he'll get down the business and he'll start potting some goals.
All right. How long is Jeff Blashill?
Let's
Do we know?
down the business.
How long is Nick Lardis? Let's hear from Nick Lardis
from
before
Nick
the
Lardis.
breakdown. Man,
Everything's fast with Nick Lardis.
I'm a man of few words. That is all. Here is Nick Lardis, courtesy of your Chicago Blackhawks.
Nick, did that live up to expectations for you as far as the first night went?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty special, obviously, playing against Detroit. Patty Kane in the building, I was pretty special. So, it was a lot of fun. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but, it was pretty special.
How hectic was the call?
Yeah, I got a call on the bus. We were heading to Grand Rapids yesterday night, and we were about 15 minutes out. Got a call, so we had to turn the buses back around. But, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Drove in here pretty late last night. Didn't go to bed until, 3, 4 a.m. So hard to sleep. But, it was a cool memory for sure.
Was it nice having some familiarity with guys that you played with in Rockford?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Morsey, all those guys. Even just playing with these guys in training camp and a couple preseason games, it's nice to, build a little chemistry and comfortability with all these guys too. So it was awesome.
What did it say about the confidence the coach had in you to put you in these situations?
Yeah, it was awesome. Builds a lot of confidence for sure in my game, especially first NHL game, getting those looks and opportunities. It's it was awesome. Builds a lot of confidence going forward. So yeah.
Was there anything different than you expected?
I don't know, kind of just everything. I was just in a blur, honestly. Can't really remember too much, but the pace is really fast. Obviously, playing against guys like Kane, DeBrincat, you're in awe the first couple of shifts, kind of watching them. But as the game goes on, you kind of settle in. So yeah.
All right, there he is, Nick Lardis, courtesy of the Blackhawks. Lebowski55 says, "Hey Jay, remember when you called Lardis a small child on draft day?"
I didn't call him when he was.
I stand by it.
Was.
He remains a small child for the record, and looks like a small child for the record. But when he was drafted, he was a little boy. He was a toddler.
I want to go. I'm gonna see if I can find that.
And that was the draft where they had so many picks in succession that I was down in the media area, and they just kept bringing children to the podium, and I'm like, who is this? I don't know who they chose.
Which front office staff member's grandchild is this?
Oh, are we interviewing the draft escort kid who brings the picks to the who helps out at the table? I was like, what is happening?
Where's our video here?
Yes, he still looks incredibly young. In fairness, I am getting significantly older, so that's part of it.
We're both also older since then. But yeah,
Chloe, you want to tell the story about what happened in security today? That where the security guard said same last name about me and you because they assumed you were my daughter.
We walked in, which this is not a thing. Like, how many people from the press box bring their children with them to a game?
So they'll they do have like family
member?
comes in that door too.
That gate is press and also Amex customers.
But they looked at your media credential.
Yeah.
And then they had to check my thing on my phone.
Bring your daughter to
and
work
then
day.
she said, "What's your name?" She wasn't even writing it down. And I said, Chloe, CHLOE. And she said, "Same last name?" I was like, Nope, not the
No,
same.
That's
no, that's
funny.
not
To be
This is
fair,
my
that was a
coworker.
completely different security guard.
I have never
down
seen
there.
that woman
Yeah.
in my life.
2 to 3 people were new. And like, I walked by. She's like, I need to see your pass. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's under these 7 layers next to my Hawaiian shirt.
Every day, something happens that makes me die a little bit inside. Yesterday it was Chloe. It's very focused on you lately, by the way.
What did I do
yesterday? You said,
yesterday?
how old are you? Go 24, which is exactly half my age. It's just rough.
Me saying
makes
that my
sense
age is
someone would think
24 isn't my fault that it makes
I didn't
you
say it was
die
your
inside.
fault. I just said that
You
these.
did. You said this is
these
very
8
Chloe-centered.
Well, all the experiences that are
Oh.
making me
Since
feel.
you've been here, Chloe, you've only made Jay feel older
It's true.
every
Almost killed
day.
him.
Honestly,
It's true.
What'd you say?
I said, you've almost
Yeah,
killed him.
you're-
since
you're
you showed
putting
up.
him
I thought
closer
you
to the
said
grave.
you almost killed me. I was like,
No,
what did I do to you?
I
Chloe, I did send.
I'm not intimidated by the youths like this guy.
I'm not intimidated. I just don't understand
Greg's
them.
hip with the kids.
Yeah, they all. See,
Big on
Look at
Tik-
that, look at
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, the Nick Lardis.
Big
The
on
Nick
TikTok.
Lardis photo is in Slack. We'll share that when we come back from break. And God, do more says GoFundMe to fund Jay's Walker. Thank you very much. It's coming. All right, we'll talk to you in 2 minutes. Hit that like button, please. Our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your football season, and you might need some elevation during tomorrow's game because it might be stressful. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. I like to push my 2 favorite brands because they're my 2 favorites, and I stand by them. Good News and Mindy's. If you're like me and have trouble sleeping, the Good News counting sheep, no longer a problem. You'll be out. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They've got spots as far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit. Stop in the store nearest you for expert guidance from their staff. Head to their website for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Use the code HICHGO at checkout to qualify if you're a new customer. For returning customers, use code CHGO50. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day only for 21 plus or Illinois MedCard holders. And this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You've got lots of football action this weekend. So you want to play along? More than or less than 1 rushing touchdown for DeAndre Swift, for example. More than or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns for Caleb Williams. You get how it works. The more of those, the better you do. Stack them, earn. Beautiful. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the app today. Use the code CHGO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, here is the photo of young child Nick Lardis at the draft. Oh, it's a video. All right, let's hear it. Oh, I'm happy to be drafted.
You know, how they generate scoring chances and the way they use their strengths, which is, their speed and skating abilities and their IQ and all 3 zones of the ice. Just kind of, picking little things from what they do on the ice and implementing it to my game. So I'd say those 2 guys that, I love watching.
I would have a question for you if I knew who you were, sir.
I love that at the draft, especially day 2, a lot of questions are, so tell us about your game. And where do you play?
And who are you?
Who are you?
And what's your name?
It really is like when you play Be a
Who
Pro.
is your daddy and what does he do?
It really is like when you play Be a Pro and they're like, what would you say is your skill set? And what position suits you best?
Yes.
Are you looking forward to playing in the NHL?
There's really nothing
What
else
is
you
it
can
exactly you do here?
Yeah,
that's good
it's
stuff.
it's crazy. The
How fast they grow up, Nick Lardis.
right, it is really sweet. Well, you know what? Why don't we? Because I definitely want to get to some of the tribute stuff they did today. Because they really did knock it out of the park. So let's do. Are we ready for Frat House? Is the Frat House open? Is the music bumping?
Saturday at 11 o'clock. What's your frat house up to?
I'm in bed.
Pump it.
Come on, we got it, Chloe. You're here.
No,
Thank
you got to
you.
turn it up.
It's under Frat House. All right, Nick Lardis is our featured frat boy from the Frat House on Madison today. 2 shots on goal, 8 shot attempts, 15-32. And while we're at it, we're just going to go ahead and give him the game puck because, frankly, who else deserves it?
Does anyone else deserve it? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I give it to him.
So there you go.
Look at the new pledge, Nick Lardis.
Who knew that the shift that Gary Suter, Bob Murray, Jeremy Roenick, Chris Chelios, and Brian Noonan had to start the game was going to be the best one by any Blackhawk player
How
tonight.
about it? I mean, I will say, we all know Chelios looks like he can still play. Gary Suter looked good too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he looks like he's got a shift left in him. He's got a cross check to Paul Correa's face left in him.
Sure.
Can he cross-check Ryan Suter?
That'd be fine.
He could.
The first alleged pudwhack.
Yes.
Or rumored pudwhack was the word we used.
Rumors of pudwackdom.
Yes. But anyway, if you missed the game today, and who could blame you, the closing of the Madhouse chapter was very well done. Once again, Pat Foley comes out, starts things off.
The big bed sheet didn't hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yes, they lowered the scoreboard a little bit to make sure it didn't happen.
See, learning from past mistakes.
Yes,
That's all you want.
That's what you want. Don't make the same mistake twice. And then Dale Talon came out, cracked some jokes. I heard he was pretty tough on Levshinov during the game. I'll have to go back and watch the broadcast tomorrow to hear what Dale had to say. But he came out. Then it was the guys you mentioned coming out in the white home jersey.
That was a beautiful touch.
Beautiful touch.
Smart.
And then they got Frank Pellico in a makeshift organ loft.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was happening. Wayne Messmer sings the anthem. Didn't know that was happening. That was very, very cool. I think they did a really good job
Scoreboard
tonight.
was the light bulbs.
Yes.
Look like they did for Chelios night a few years ago.
Now that I think about it, the Hawks should have worn the home whites tonight.
That would have been cool. And then the Red Wings could have worn their Centennials.
Yeah.
They could have. Yep.
Oh, well.
I just want to say this was my first time at United Center, so everything they did tonight, I expect. You know.
Oh, that's not
Like,
typical.
I don't know,
that's
I don't
not
know
every
what's
game.
normal
That's not every
or
game.
what they added for
Yeah.
tonight. So
That's
next
true.
game, I don't know what will
Yeah,
be there and what
so
won't.
we'll tell you after the show. Everyone else knows. But Frank Pellico retired after last year. Wayne Messmer was his anthem
before
singer
the
at
end
Chicago
of that
Stadium.
last year. That was kind of weird. Yeah.
And they just did some stuff to throw it back to the Chicago Stadium. But yeah, I thought they did a great. And I really think they've done a really good job.
Harvey
with all
Wittenberg doing the PA.
Yeah, he did the
announcing
PA.
Too. Another great touch.
Yeah, that was cool.
So cool.
1 minute to play in the period. I was kind of one going to be pissed that he didn't throw the ad in there.
You know what?
They probably made enough money.
Harvey can do
tonight.
whatever the hell Harvey wants.
Yeah. See, Lebowski 55 with a good question. Did the stairwell smell like urine? They could have, for the full effect, pumped in the smell of urine and cigarettes if you really want to create.
Could you just let everybody smoke?
Well, and it got kind of serious at the end of the game, but there was a guy kicked out in the first period.
in our not
row, not in our group,
not
but
with
in our
us,
row.
but sitting next to us.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, they're kicking guys out for profanity. Well, then he came back at the end of the third, and me and Patrick had to tell him to stop calling the lady in front of us all the words. It was not good, but it was an embarrassing night for that guy. Literally, this woman came in a Red Wings jersey. She was fine. She was just there watching the game, and he got in her face in the first and the third, and she was literally crying.
Why did they let him back in?
I think they
that's
told
a
him
good
to
question.
move because I think they told him to move.
After him and his friend got removed from their seats.
Yeah.
After in the first intermission, I went down to the concourse, get in line for the bathroom and everything, and him and his buddy were still there.
Yeah.
In the concourse, and when the second period started, I went up to my seats, and they were still standing in the concourse. So they weren't out of the building.
Yeah.
They were just out of their seats. So my guess is that, maybe these jabronis know the UC layout, and they say, oh, well, let's use the back stairwell and go back up to our seats. And then you guys are there, and they're like, that dude is, I don't know, probably retired and has nothing better to do but then berate people. I don't know.
It was just bizarre. Anyway, what's nice is Patrick's father is a part of security at the United Center, and we know their seat numbers.
Well, there you go.
So perhaps those two fellows will not be allowed back in the building because they should not be.
Perhaps.
To the point where I apologized to a Red Wings fan. That's how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But he was about to get 500 pounds of combined ginger action if he kept it up. Me and Patrick were gonna.
It's one of my favorite.
Usually you got to pay extra.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. couple of soulless ninjas coming for you.
Yeah. But otherwise, the Madhouse stuff was great. Jay Lardis completely relishing in the moment of taking a little extra time to get to the other blue line and doing some waves, doing some spins.
Yeah, he would have done a few laps if they let him.
Now, remind me, is that the first time Chelios has been back in uniform? He didn't get a one last shift, did he?
No. Yeah, I think suited up skating on the ice.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time that he's.
I don't think
because he hasn't done he didn't do the last shift that they did. I know they did that for Roenick.
Did he have a heritage night? Because they did one more shift, and they also had those heritage nights. I wonder if he got.
I mean, he's been back, wearing a jersey with Savard and stuff and all that. But I can't imagine. I can't remember a time where he's done the I'm going to skate out
in full uniform.
Yeah.
I did appreciate the pregame Q&A with alumni where they had not your stars out there. It was kind of cool to hear from Jocelyn Yemu, who I was a big fan of when he played here, and talking about how his first day here, he was told Mike Keenan doesn't like guys who wear visors, so he told the equipment guy to take the visor off his helmet to make a good first impression.
That tracks.
They were talking about the stayer JP Bordelot and Steve Smith. I loved Steve Smith as a player.
Love that guy.
He talked about being at the stadium as a member of the Oilers for the '91 All-Star game before he got traded here, and how special that national anthem was, and just hearing those guys. Just hearing those guys talk about the stadium brought back so many great memories. That was a building that I saw my first Blackhawk games at and fell in love with the sport. I know, Jay, you're in the same boat there. It was just such a special place. No frills, no luxuries at all.
No.
Not at all.
The entertainment was the game.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
It was that building had character. That building was a home ice advantage just by walking into it. And it was a dump, but damn it, it was our dump. And I miss that place so much. Just in these last couple of games, and with the great documentary they did, so many memories and forgotten times, have been coming back, and just little snippets of seeing the old concourse. You're like, oh my God, that's what that looked like. And I forgot about this and so many things. It's been really, really cool. And I really appreciate the Blackhawks doing this over the past few weeks. And now they'll move on to the next chapter. And I'm sure they'll do great stuff there. The stuff in the atrium was really cool tonight. I snuck down there before going up to see the interactive displays they had.
So I saw that online. Did they have VR glasses or something?
I don't think so. No, but I mean they had other kinds of memorabilia, and they had the original Gate 3.5 sign down there.
Nice.
And
that's cool.
Stat boards and stuff like that. So it was really cool. I'm hoping when they get the physical Blackhawks Hall of Fame opened here in a couple of months, some of that stuff.
I hope so.
I hope there's a whole bunch of Madhouse stuff there. Just the stadium, man. It was you can't explain it to people who weren't fortunate enough to have been there. It's just, it was an attitude. It was smoky. It felt like a crime was going to happen inside and everybody was going to applaud it when it did. It was like every cliche about in a hockey movie you've ever seen come to life, but not cheesy.
I think it probably inspired a lot of that stuff. And I think the documentary that they put out did as good of a job as possible of capturing the atmosphere there. They keep using the quote, "You feel the sound," and the building would literally shake. And I know people say that all the time, but I'm telling you, when Frank Pellico would hit a bassier note on the organ,
the pipes were literally
you could
going
feel,
around the building.
Yes, you could feel your body Like, you ever been to a really loud concert and the bass drum is like pumping in your chest? It was like your entire body would vibrate from the organ being struck. And I know I've talked about this before, but tonight's the night to do it. And Pat Foley mentioned it. Like, this stadium was as tough as the neighborhood it was in. And the West Loop now is gentrified as hell. Oh, yeah. It is high-end restaurants. It is expensive condos and apartments.
It was not this way 30 years ago.
You didn't stop at stop signs. The neighborhood was that rough where if you made a full stop at a stop sign, not a stop light, a stop sign, you were in danger of something happening to your car. That's how the neighborhood was. And going there, especially as a kid, I'll say, as a kid from Oak Lawn, pretty sheltered, not a lot of diversity in Oak Lawn when I was growing up. It was a culture shock for me, and it was probably came off a little more dangerous than it really was. But my dad wasn't scared, and my dad did not stop at stop signs. Yeah. And so before you're even in the building, all your senses are heightened. And then you get out of your car. And it's like, all right, let's kind of hustle to the stadium. You're trying to walk with the crowd. You're trying to make sure you're not walking on your own, whatever it might be. And then you get into that place. And like you said, Greg, it's smoky. And you're hearing the organ playing. And it's loud before anyone's even cheering the anthem. And the smells and the sights and the sounds.
And the language you would hear.
Yes.
As a 7-year-old, I heard so many words I'd never heard before. And I would look up at my dad, and he'd just be like, nope, not explaining that one.
Yeah, right.
Ask me when you're 18.
Yeah, I cannot think of anything remotely close to that I've experienced in my life going to a Hawks game at the stadium. And it was just the most exhilarating thing. I have a story where I went with my uncle, and the Hawks scored a goal, and everybody stood up and cheered. And I don't know if you can't see it in the camera shot. We have stadium chairs like right over there, and they pop up.
Yeah.
And then when you sit down, they all do this now, but it's literally just a wood chair.
Yeah.
And I cut the tip of my finger off as a chair because I put my hand under my seat for whatever reason.
It's still there, stuck in the chairs.
Yeah, my finger is still dangling there. And my uncle's like, "Oh golly, do you want to go home?" I'm like, "Never, never going home." Like, it was just you were just in it. And they say like the fans are on top of you because it was very vertical, very steep.
Like,
and
in
you
the
felt
corners,
like you truly felt as a fan like you were influencing the game.
In the corners, up in the second balcony, each row had a railing in front of it because it was so steep, and because you were like straight up, you had to use that railing to not fall out of your seat, but to use it to lean over so you could actually see the puck when it was in the corner in front of you. And talking about like the neighborhood, I always knew as a kid that we were getting close. Because when my dad would get off the Ogden Avenue exit of the Kennedy, he'd hit the lock button and the doors would lock. And we're like, oh, we're almost there, Dad. Lock the car doors. Yes, the neighborhood has definitely changed. I remember when I got my season tickets for the first time in 2007. And I remember telling my dad, like, oh, we didn't get a parking pass. He's like, oh, you're going to pay for parking every night? I go, no, I'm just going to park on the street, off of Ogden Avenue or one of the side streets. There's plenty of parking. He's like, are you insane? I'm like, Dad, you have not been down there in 20 years. It is not the same. I'm going to be parking in front of a luxurious loft condo. I'll be fine.
Yeah. I missed the window of opportunity to see a game at the stadium. So seeing the documentary that they did was really cool. I felt like I came away, I learned a few things. Like you guys are saying, like the organ pipes being like built into the stadium and how it just crazy to kind of hear how that was all put together and how it influenced the feeling in the arena. I'm really excited for when the group that did the Last Comiskey documentary with basically all the, for lack of a better term, found footage.
Like Blair Witch.
Home videos. Home videos and all that of the old stadiums. Like they're doing one for the Chicago Stadium as well. I think it's called like Madhouse or something like that. I'm excited to see when that is completed and out, because I hear you guys talk about it. I hear all the stories, see all the old videos. And it's just it's like one of those experiences that it's just like I kind of almost feel like I can imagine how it was without ever having been there, but it's one of those things I'm just like, I just wish I would have been able to.
All right. Can you
experience
recall, Mario, your loudest experience in the United Center, like the most exhilarating experience you've had in the United Center?
Oh, man. The loudest?
Yeah. Like how, even if you weren't there, I'd imagine like Duncan Keith's goal against Tampa.
Yeah, that would be the most.
It had to be
that like exhilaration.
That would be like your standard stadium goal.
Yeah,
in terms of volume and in terms of
that would be a
that or the Seabrook beating the Detroit in Game
that
7.
would have been
That's
the decibels of a second period
like a
goal
normal,
on a Tuesday night against the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah,
but it was also the way the building was built.
Oh, it was built.
It was straight up.
The acoustics of
it didn't go out. It just the noise went straight up to the ceiling and bounced right back down. And like the first balcony hung right over up until like row 7 or 8 of the lower bowl, and then the second balcony was stacked right on top of that. So everybody cheering in the first back, that sound just reverberated. It was insane. I do want to say the loudest I ever heard the Chicago Stadium was not even for something that happened in a game. It was a night I remember being there. I'll never forget it. John Candy did Shoot the Puck in the second intermission. And that was the loudest I ever heard. The place went absolutely insane. I think it was when he was in town filming Uncle Buck. That's how long ago it was.
I just watched that movie.
But they introduced John Candy, and the place went insane.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. I mean, someone said they'd like to see if they renovated to try to capture the essence of the stadium. So my father-in-law actually, his company built the United Center. If you've ever been in there and you look up at the ceiling, you'll see like black rectangles. They almost look like banners, and they're hanging from the ceiling. And the idea for that was to make the sound bounce, to try to make it louder because it's cavernous. Like, what did they say? It's 4 times the square footage of the stadium? Or
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe it was double. Whatever it is, it's significantly bigger.
I think twice.
But so like with all that roof space and with the crowd more, on a less severe angle, it's not all just compressed into this small space. So they did what they could to sort of engineer sound. I feel like for a couple of years they were piping in sound at the UC, kind of recently.
Maybe when there was only 5,000 people in the arena.
They weren't doing it then.
Do you guys remember that game fairly recently? Maybe in the last 7 or 8 years when one of those things fell during the game and like made its way onto the ice during play. One of those black mats. But yeah, the stadium was one of a kind. And I'm really glad they did this tonight. Brought back a ton of memories. Hit you right in the feels.
Especially at our age where it was just so magical.
Like I remember the marquee. Like they had a marquee. They would put on the, who was playing tonight, and they had like the little logo of the Bulls and Blackhawks there, and then the Roman kind of, I don't know,
the facade.
Yeah.
Which is now at the St. Ignatius campus.
Right.
You can walk up and touch
I didn't know that until the Madhouse documentary, but just everything about it was just. I mean, I think it had probably a lot to do with being a kid and being that age where everything was bigger than life, and just being able to see the Blackhawks play because the home games weren't on TV, and seeing the white jerseys and the white helmets was just such a cool experience. And they had larger than life players at that time, and it left an impression on me that obviously has stuck all these years later. It's just so cool.
We got some super chats we got to take care of before we go. Eris Mix says, "Hey guys, it's Kimberly from Ohio. It was great to meet you guys tonight, and thanks for making the trip and experience worth it tonight despite the result. Met some great people at the takeover." Yeah, that was great to meet you, Kimberly.
Took a train ride from Ohio to come out here.
Very cool.
And was rewarded with that game. So hopefully the next time she takes a trip out, she said she usually gets out to one game a year. Hopefully next year it's a much better experience.
Yeah, that would be great. And History Racer with $2 says, "Maybe crazy, but Tavo and Vlasic have seemed so bad this year." I mean, we talked about Tavo.
Tavo early on this season was felt like he was pulling his weight more. I know the last couple of games after taking a puck to the face, that can obviously change a little bit of your, willingness to go into certain areas, maybe a little bit. But I think he's healing. He's got, he had the cage on his face for a little bit now, but now it's off. Yeah, I think that the team has been off a bit in general the last couple of games, and he's a part of it. Vlasic, I will say, for the most part this season, he's been the guy night in, night out, leading the team in ice time and getting a lot of the assignments defensively, getting the toughest matchups. He hasn't stood out like he has in probably the last 2 seasons in a positive light, but I haven't thought that he's been bad. But I haven't felt like he's been the same level of guy we've seen before on a positive side of things. He's kind of been like out there, not hurting you. Yeah. He's not really feeling like he's helping you.
I feel like he is maybe, I don't want to say plateaued and that he can't get better, but I feel like he came in so competent and steady and playing. I don't feel like there's been a big secondary jump for him.
Yeah.
Right? I think 2 years ago, like, wow, look how good Vlasic's playing. Imagine him in 2 years. It's kind of the same. Mm-hmm. Like we've sort of expected an offensive jump from him that hasn't really come. We thought with a little more experience, he maybe would add an element of physicality to his game that he hasn't really added. He does lead the team in block shots, which great, but
that's part of being physical.
I feel like we would have seen a higher jump for Vlasic, and now as I'm looking down the road, where I thought Vlasic was probably a 2, he's probably more of a 4. Mm-hmm. If this is what he is, if we're talking about like a contending team, then Vlasic is probably a 4 and not a top pair guy.
Yeah, I mean, we're not expecting him to be, Artem Levshinov's type of offensive guy. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's, as Lebowski says, like, fine, not great. It's kind of how it seems.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe as pieces fall into place for what this team's supposed to be, he's not a top-line guy, but he's still a guy that fits and plays significant minutes. And as more defensemen become what they're supposed to be, you kind of figure out who's supposed to be paired with who's going to get what assignments, and maybe as players evolve or anything like that, maybe his responsibility kind of falls to where it should be, rather than maybe he's playing a minute or 2 more than he normally would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him bad by
not
any
at all.
stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Maybe not playing to that high standard that we're used to, but he hasn't been a liability by any means. And I think having, such a young team in front of him that are making, when the forwards aren't picking up their assignments defensively, that makes his job a lot tougher as well.
True.
I would like to see him be a little more aggressive at times, not offensively, but like there are a lot of times where he's kind of just like gets caught in no man's land, and then either go block the shot or go make the hit. Would like to see him clear out the crease a little more, but overall, I mean, I think you can nitpick all you want, but I think he's been fine.
That just kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about just kind of like the team playing with the urgency.
Yeah.
Like some, if a few individuals feel like they're playing a bit more passive than they should be, then it bleeds over to the rest of the team.
All right, before we finish off these super chats and finish off the show, I have another over-under to add to our list this year. Over-under 1/2, Blackhawks starts by Laurent Brossoit.
I'm going to say over, because why the heck not?
I'm kind of with you.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to – I mean, eventually his conditioning stint's going to end. They got to do something.
I mean, you can carry 3 goalies.
You can. Soderblom hasn't exactly, lit the world on fire to where I don't think anybody's going to be upset if you give Brossoit one of his starts.
No. I think only Arvid would be upset.
It's not.
I mean, listen.
It's a performance-based business. Like
Laurent Brossoit scored more goals last night than the Ice Hogs and Blackhawks did combined tonight.
Laurent Brossoit power play 2.
I mean, he
point
should have been
man.
first line center tonight.
Probably.
He scored
Could've
more
done it.
goals since October than Frank Nazar
Yeah,
has.
he'll crash in that. We know that. I'm giving him a start just to see.
Yeah, there's
What does it hurt?
There's nothing that it doesn't take away anything from you.
I would do it in a place where it's not like a back-to-back or 2 games in 3 nights. It's a random Wednesday.
You do it at home.
And then, okay, you know what? He's still very rusty. Let's put Spencer Knight in for the last 40, whatever.
Give
it
him
might be.
Give him that Flyers game before the Christmas break on the 23rd.
Love it.
Sure.
I mean, if Soderblom had been playing better, I would chuckle at the idea. Chortle even, but he's been not good.
Isn't that a Pokemon? Chortle?
I think it's Charizard.
Whatever.
That's
Yeah, it's
you're
got a-
thinking of Squirtle and Charizard together.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't like that.
Chortle.
You don't like
sounds like-
you don't
it
like
sounds like
Pokemon?
Chork. Like, you know what Chork
I
is?
don't know what Chork is. Are you going to teach
We're gonna
me?
find
Growing
out.
up. Yarfing. Chork.
Oh, Chork. I've
Yeah.
heard Hork.
Are you having a stroke? Are you okay over there? What language are you speaking?
Chork.
She's all speaking
Yarf?
Denver talk.
Like-
Have you been possessed by a demon? What is going on here?
I've been silent for too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done
You
silencing
don't-
Chloe.
You've never
Well, see,
heard
this
Yarf?
this could be a
We'll
great
find out what
off-season
Chorkin
segment.
is
No,
on
it
overtime.
I've heard blow chunks.
Yeah, blow chunks is another one. But when
That's an old
if
one.
I have to throw up, I say I'm gonna yarf.
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 All right, maybe it's a regional thing.
It feels like a less.
Wasn't
Is it a
That's
soft J?
Yarf wasn't that? Oh, that was Snarf. I was
Snarf.
thinking the guy
Snarf
from
was
Thundercats.
yeah.
Why?
Schnurf.
If
I
you
mean-
haven't noticed, by the way, we are going to overtime. So if you are watching us on Fast Channel, that's your Samsung, your
More-
Roku, etc.
more Yarf
Move over
talk.
to ALLCITY.
But getting back to our guy Laurent Brossoit.
yeah.
I would think maybe you probably have to put him in an AHL game to showcase him. He's been
fine.
He's been good in Rockford,
He's
showing
been
he's healthy.
Better each game, yeah.
He's played 3 games now, but Toronto probably wants a goalie at this point. Edmonton solved all their problems.
That's
Okay,
completely solved.
yeah. There's still some teams out there that you always need a goalie.
I
so-
thought Detroit, but John Gibson looks like he's ready to win the Vezina.
Well,
Detroit's is supposedly in on everybody, and Quinn Hughes is going to be a Red Wing, and everybody's going to be a Red Wing, just like everyone's going to be a Canuck.
Or Maple Leaf.
Or a Maple Leaf. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's I think that's the interesting part of it is that it's just like, according to Elliot Friedman, like Brossoit has been given the go ahead to just be like, find a team that wants to trade for you and explore your options out there. But I mean, how much market is out there for him? I know there's always teams looking for goalies, but how much do other teams want to roll the dice on a guy who's only had a handful of AHL games in the last 18 months, who's in his mid-30s, who's had surgeries? Like,
Yeah. See him on the NHL ice.
yeah, I would totally be fine with him playing a game or two for the Blackhawks and just see what you have, because if he plays better than Arvid Soderblom, then you put Soderblom down, right?
Sure.
Down into Rockford, and sure, he's got to go through waivers and all that stuff. Maybe he gets picked up. I don't know. But I think you're not really going to find too many teams just plucking a $2.75 million goaltender out of
If Tristan
thin air.
Jarry didn't clear waivers last year, I don't think I think
No, he did. Did
That's
he
what I
not?
meant.
Yeah, yeah.
If Tristan Jarry
Yeah.
didn't get picked up last year, I don't think
yeah.
that, I don't. And if somebody takes Arvid Soderblom, are you going to be that upset?
Right. Well, yeah, and that was going to be my point. It was just like, if you roll with Brossoit, his contract ends at the end of the season. And if you don't re-sign him, okay, you still have Soderblom for control for another year. And you have Drew Comezzo, who's due for a new contract this summer. And you see what you have with him. Maybe an opportunity opens up with him. And, maybe Brossoit plays to be moved by the deadline, and then you can bring either Soderblom or Comezzo back up, and you go from there. I just don't think there's anything lost trying to give him that opportunity to play at the NHL level.
Especially if you have no market for him right now. If nobody's calling you, you kind of have to play him in the AHL. Because he can't stay in the AHL.
His stock can only go up.
Right.
By playing in the NHL.
And the closer you get to the deadline, the more desperate teams get.
Yeah. Sure.
Or if you get another team that gets goalie injuries, see what happens. I mean, the ultimate goal is to trade him, and it's not to trade him to get a big return. It's to put him in a position where he can go play.
Yeah.
But maybe that chance is here.
Yep, you can play here.
Because Arvid Soderblom is not making a great case for himself to keep his job. I mean, that's the bottom line. He hasn't. While he's had a couple of good games, that LA game that they won at the UC, the first Detroit game was amazing. 45 saves, but other than that, it's been a lot of meh. Now, granted, the team has not played great in front of him, but you still need to make one or two extra saves a night than he's been doing.
Yes, that's true. And I look, there's no, again, it's performance based, and he's not performing so well that you can't give somebody else a look. And there's not an organizational commitment for him beyond next year. Like, give Brossoit a look. If you even need to spin it to Soderblom, which I don't think you have to, like, you don't owe him much. It's pro sports. You say, hey, we want to give him an NHL start to see how things go. We were trying to showcase this guy and let teams know that he's healthy. This is a better way to do it. We're sure, even if they don't necessarily have to call somebody up, they could just put it, they can just, I don't know, maybe send Toninato back down if he's not going to play. Are they at the roster limit? They have 22.
No, they still have another spot.
No,
they can call him up now and not even send
defensemen
down.
Right, or I wouldn't be surprised if they bring a seventh defenseman on board for the road trip here.
They could.
Just to have that extra body. And then, if you go back to 7 and 11, which everybody loves, you can carry 3 goalies. You can send a forward down and carry your 3 goalies. I don't know. It's an option that I didn't think they would be looking to use a few weeks ago, but listen, if you can make an improvement at that backup goalie spot, make the improvement.
Why not? Absolutely. I think you owe it to your team at this point. And especially, I know we're frustrated with the way the team's playing lately, but there's been a lot of guys who have been toiling through a rebuild for years, and if there is an opportunity to make the team better and more competitive, they should do it without having to give up a bunch of the assets they've gained in the rebuild, right? Bringing up Brossoit and giving him a look could help. Can't hurt, could help. So why not give it a shot for a game or 2 starts?
It's not going to make anything worse.
100%. Right. All right, we got 2 super chats we want to get to before we go. Kempin, who I met today in line for the bathroom, says, drove 6 hours from Lexington, Kentucky. Just wanted to hear Chelsea Dagger. Yeah, I feel that, man. It was good to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for making the drive.
I had to bail on the bathroom line.
I don't know why you just didn't walk over to the press box. It probably would have taken you
actually, I did think about that. But yeah. So it was nice to meet you, Kempin.
What was the soup tonight?
Loaded baked potato. You got
oh, man.
Perfect night.
Man.
Perfect night.
Second period, I was like, man, the soup would probably hit real
John
good.
Weideman had to be napping by the second period.
The stick to your ribs, loaded baked potato soup
that's
on a cold night.
Could have flung some across the rink for me.
I was too busy eating it.
Now I'm even more upset.
And then we got $5 from Windy City Hockey. Says, was supposed to be at the game, but whiteout conditions in Springfield made my dad and I have to turn around and go home. We saw like 40 cars and ditches.
That was the smart move. Glad you made it and got home safely.
Could you imagine risking your life to see the Hawks get their asses kicked by Detroit?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Would not be good.
No good.
Well, good thing safe and sound.
Yes. Do we want to play Jeff Blashill before we go?
I think the only noteworthy thing is that he just confirmed that Bedard's out for the Canadian road trip.
It will be Jeff Blashill will be on the YouTube channel shortly after the conclusion of the episode. So it's already
it's
on
not
the
it's not our video.
Well, it's on the Blackhawks channel.
Yeah, Hawks website will have it if you want to see it. But yeah, and Madhouse Meek says, "Thanks for a good show, guys. Go yarf yourselves to sleep."
Ooh, I don't want to do that.
Don't mind if I do.
If I'm yarfing, how can I fall asleep?
Yarf until you fall asleep.
I believe.
I'm good.
I
don't have problems falling asleep. I don't need the yarf.
Be nice.
Just rewatch tonight's game.
I didn't sleep at all last night because we had a takeover today because that's how my brain works. All right, we will talk to you on Monday. No show tomorrow, but remember, it is Bears Central here on Sundays and Monday through
If you're
Fridays,
going to
and
the
also
game-
Saturdays. But yeah,
Don't. I wouldn't. But if you do, layer up and man,
might
just-
want to wear a coat.
Yeah, invest in those hot hands hand warmers and just stick them all over your body.
Get some loaded baked potato soup
Just
for your
pour it down your
shoulders.
pants.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, we'll talk to everybody Monday at 3 o'clock after Hawks practice. Hopefully we'll have a real bit of news about Connor Bedard by
Sure
then.
we will.
Talk to you then on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.